Howdy folks, welcome to another Tumblr user video. Today is going to be Today I Learned episode 2. I'm really excited about this one. I hope that you all will enjoy it. If you do enjoy the video, please feel free to drop a like, comment what your favorite post was, and subscribe to the channel. Maybe comment something that you learned today, because that's an important thing. Without further ado, please sit back, relax, and enjoy the video.
TIL that in 2012 Switzerland carried out a war game based on the scenario that France had divided into multiple countries after a political and economic crisis. One country, Saonia, hypothetically invaded Switzerland to retrieve stolen money stashed in Swiss banks. TIL that Dr. Seuss was humiliated by Theodore Roosevelt when he was a kid during an award ceremony, resulting in Dr. Seuss fearing large crowds for the rest of his life.
Did you ever have a feeling there's a basket in your basket or a girl in your girl or was it in your closet?
TIL the Vatican had music which was forbidden to be copied and was only played twice per year. The piece was kept secret for almost 150 years until a 14-year-old Mozart listened to it and transcribed it from memory. TIL that during the Cold War, Nikita Khrushchev said to Mao Zedong that Berlin is the testicles of the West. Every time I want to make the West scream, I squeeze on Berlin. TIL the WD-40 formula is not patented. If it were, the makers would have to disclose its ingredients, making it easier to copy. WD-40
is made of
TIL that Star Wars was one of the first films selected for preservation by the Library of Congress in 1989, but it has yet to receive an archival print of the original film. George Lucas tried to submit a special edition print in 1997, but it was rejected due to its alterations of the 1977 print. TIL on April Fool's Day 1997, Wheel of Fortune host Pat Sajak and Jeopardy host Alex Trebek swapped shows for the day. TIL that the killer whale is a natural predator of the moose. TIL Abraham Lincoln and Charles Darwin were born on the exact same day. TIL Matthew Perry, Chandler from Friends, is a fan of the Fallout video game series. On a 2009 episode of the Ellen DeGeneres Show, he gave DeGeneres a copy of Fallout 3. This prompted game studio Bethesda to cast him in the next installment of the series, Fallout: New Vegas. TIL North Korea's late leader Kim Jong-il reportedly spent $700,000 a year on Hennessy cognac. TIL that a neutron star's gravitational field is so strong, it bends light such that we can see more than half of its surface at once. TIL both Handel and Batch were blinded by a quack oculist named John Taylor, who traveled around Europe in a coach decorated with eyes and later died blind himself. TIL that the largest natural bridge on Earth was virtually unknown to the rest of the world until it was observed on Google Earth. TIL that in the nation of Papua New Guinea, population 8 billion, there are 820 different spoken languages, complete languages not dialects, which belong to 60 language families as different from each other as French and Chinese. TIL more than 1 in 4 people wrongfully convicted but later exonerated by DNA evidence had made false confessions. Researchers say they occur as a result of police using force, threat, exhaustion, hunger, lies and intimidation during interrogations. TIL Chad Stahelski, the director of the John Wick films, had worked as Keanu Reeves' stunt double for 15 years prior to his directorial debut. TIL that at the start of the AIDS epidemic, CDC epidemiologists had a plan to combat the disease, but were told by the Reagan administration, no, we are not going to fund it, and we want you to look pretty and do as little as you can. TIL that a popular New Year's Eve tradition in Germany is to watch a relatively obscure 18-minute British short called Dinner for One. 1963, with 17 million people tuning in on 31st December 2016. TIL There are no mosquitoes in Iceland. TIL, that the first emperor of China's tomb, of terracotta army fame, has not yet been explored. Ancient historians wrote that tombs contains rivers of mercury mechanically operated to flow like real rivers. Modern tests have reported mercury levels in the soil over 100 times what occurs naturally. TIL The shape of chainsaw teeth are based on the mandibles of wood-boring beetle larvae. TIL The first successful kidney transplant took place in 1954 when Ronald Herrick, 23, had agreed to donate one of his kidneys to his identical twin brother, Richard, who was dying of kidney failure. TIL, that in August 1967, the US Defense Department published a 200-page report concluding that most American soldiers didn't fully comprehend the Geneva Conventions. No actions were taken. The My Lai massacre in Vietnam occurred 7 months later. TIL A house cat bit its owner in the middle of the night to alert the family for the house fire. The family got out in time with no injuries and the fire department confirmed the cat was partially responsible for the rescue. Hero Kitty. TIL that London cab drivers must memorize all 25,000 of London's streets including every business, restaurant, statue, pub and landmark on them. Their exam has been called the hardest in the world, and studying for it enlarges cab hippocampuses. TIL after President Grover Cleveland lost his re-election bid in 1888 to Benjamin Harrison, Cleveland held an umbrella over his successor's head while Harrison delivered his inaugural address in a rainstorm. TIL, that in October 1971, a physicist and an astronomer took 4 cesium beam atomic clocks aboard commercial airliners. They flew twice around the world and when reunited, the sets of clocks were found to disagree according to the prediction of the relativity theory. TIL The word decimate comes from the Roman army's tradition of killing 1 out of 10 soldiers when a large group had committed a crime. The word literally means removal of 1/10 rather than devastation, as it means today. TIL, that after his experience playing Lieutenant Dan in Forrest Gump, Gary Sinise established a charity to help disabled veterans. TIL arsenic used to be so undetectable and popular a poison that it was nicknamed the inheritance powder. TIL that the film Saving Private Ryan was so realistic that not only did veterans leave theaters during the opening scene, but visits to PTSD counselors rose and the Department of Veteran Affairs set up a nationwide hotline for veterans affected by this film. TIL, that you technically could stop a hurricane by shooting at it if you had about 5,000 machine guns firing constantly into the wind for 24 hours straight. TIL Bam Margera wanted Mike Tyson to bite off part of his ear for a stunt during the filming of Jackass 3. Paramount even contacted Tyson and asked, to which Tyson got offended and said no. TIL The USA dropped 26,171 bombs in 2016. That's about 3 bombs every hour for 24 hours a day. TIL Ryan's rule is a medical precedent in Queensland where, if a person feels their medical concerns are not being taken seriously they can request a re-evaluation. This rule came about after a 3-year-old child died of a bacterial infection after a hospital doctor declined to perform blood tests. TIL, that Big Bird was invited to be on board the Challenger shuttle to encourage children to learn about space. He did not accept the invitation and the Challenger shuttle exploded after its launch. TIL The 99-cent pricing first became popular in the 19th century, shortly after the invention of the cash register. The pricing ensured that the cashier was forced to ring in the transaction to create a record of it and return change to reduce the risk of the cashier stealing from the store. TIL California still has a large oil industry right in major cities like LA, but disguise the sites to look like office buildings. TIL that Japanese kamikaze pilots were allowed to return if they didn't find a suitable target. One pilot was shot after his 9th return. TIL about a railway station in a remote area of Japan that was going to close due to lack of usage. Only one girl used the train every day to go to school. They kept the station working solely for the girl to graduate and closed once she finished her studies. TIL in and out managers make $160,000 per year. TIL a retired electrical engineer named Bruce Campbell had an old Boeing 727 delivered to the woods near Portland, Oregon and converted it to his home where he lives full time. TIL until 2017. Toilets on trains in the UK flushed onto the tracks below. TIL the Berlin Wall was opened accidentally after being told wrong info. A Soviet spokesman stated that border crossings would be allowed immediately. Crossings were actually planned to be allowed in limited circumstances. Thousands of East Germans then ran to the border and forced it open. TIL that in the Cookie Monster study, experimenters randomly appointed one person the leader of a small group. When an experimenter brought in a plate of 5 cookies, the leaders were more likely to take a second cookie and to eat with their mouths open and get crumbs all over the place. TIL an Atlanta vegan couple was sentenced to life in prison for the death of their 6-week-old malnourished baby boy starved to death, who was fed a limited diet of soy milk and apple juice. TIL that Jupiter's great red spot is so loud, its acoustic sound waves heat up the surrounding atmosphere to almost 2400 degrees Fahrenheit. TIL that despite being founded in the same city, in the same year and having the same name, Hershey's ice cream and Hershey's chocolate have no affiliation and in fact have had multiple legal disputes due to their shared name. TIL it would take about 3,000 years to send a message and hear a reply if CT discovered intelligent life at KIC 8462852. TIL Mick Fleetwood of Fleetwood Mac played a fish alien on Star Trek: The Next Generation, shaved his iconic beard for the part, and had to do 19 takes to say one line: food. TIL that Edgar Allan Poe invented the first fictional detective and directly influenced Arthur Conan Doyle's Sherlock Holmes, who made his first appearance 45 years after Poe's death. TIL halting sneezing via blocking the nostrils and mouth is a dangerous maneuver. It may lead to numerous complications, such as pneumomediastinum, air trapped in the chest between both lungs, perforation of the tympanic membrane, perforated eardrum, and even rupture of a cerebral aneurysm. TIL in the midst of the messy divorce, Charles Dickens referred to his wife as dearest darling pig, and attempted to have her committed to an insane asylum so he could live with his 18-year-old mistress. TIL astronaut Scott Kelly grew 2 inches after being in space for a year.
Thank you all so much for watching episode 2, version 2 of Today I Learned from Tumblr. I hope that you all were able to learn something. If you did learn something, please feel free to drop it in the comments what it was that you learned. Like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I would really appreciate that. So look forward to the Q&A video coming out tomorrow on Wednesday. It should be December 9th. You have that to look forward to, and then we'll have Biggest Gaudius Patronus coming out on Thursday. So we have all those videos to look forward to. I hope that you all have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon, night, whatever time of day it is for you. And I will see you all tomorrow. Oh, sorry, I'll actually see you all in a couple of hours with episode 52 of Top Tumblr Posts. Peace out, guys.